today. Um, trying to strategically cover some things there. And as you can see, I'm doing my makeup. Let me put my earrings on. All right, so it's interesting that, okay, I'm in a band. I'm actually in two bands. One is kind of on hiatus right now, but the other, we did just release some music in September. And you may have seen me pop on live one or two times during band practice um, with that band. And we are now, I guess, in the promotion part. Now, some people might say, like, it has to be in a certain order. I don't believe in it has to be in a certain order, quite honestly. Um, because eventually people will discover your music and, you know, where however you want it. You want it on the front end before you release music or the other way, you know? So, excuse me as I set my makeup now. So, um, we are doing it, I would say a little of both, but more on the back end. Black Box, the band I'm in. And we are now getting, I guess, requests for interviews and things. And so we're on that kind of thing. So I just last night, I'm still working on it, my questionnaire uh, for print and blogging, uh, you know, sources out there. So and I have to dig deep because I hadn't thought about it. Now, as a solo artist, I kind of already have some things already to think about, right? But being in a band where it's way more collaborative and organic, quite honestly, um, where where your inspirations and things like that happen, it's hard when people put you or sort of put you on the spot and they ask you, well, what's your inspiration? What inspired you to do this album? And that's literally some of the questions that are on this questionnaire right now. And I'm glad that I at least had the time to think back and try to like recreate the time. Now, when I'm doing my own music, I'm trying to, have a journal and put these kind of things together already. And that's some friendly advice for anybody, really. So when you're creating, it is good to have a journal to help you keep track of your ideas and where it's going, where it's flowing, if it's going off, it's accountability, really. And so when it does come time to be interviewed and things like that, it really does help to be able to refer back to your notes, your journals, things like that. So but I had to pause, answering some questions because I was like, I got to go do some research. Even though when we are putting music together, me and the band, it just happens. So it's not like we're all sitting around saying, oh, we want to sound like this. Now, I know there's some people out there that do that. Okay. But then there's groups like our group, our band, that we've had like 40, almost 50 years experience around all of us and interest in various styles of music throughout music history. Okay. That sometimes we'll pull something from wherever because we've lived it. It's not like we sit around copying anybody or deciding we want to sound like this kind of thing. So that's kind of why I had to stop because I pulled vocal reference from music that I used to listen to, but it doesn't mean that I was copying that person. It just means, oh, I heard how they could do this kind of vocalization in this style of music. And because I enjoyed that kind of music, it doesn't mean I was copying that person because first of all, that person's a man. So I can't sound like him, but I can understand where he's coming from as a performer. So that's kind of where had I kept a journal, and see, that's the other thing. Sometimes us creators are going so fast, so furious with whatever we're creating that we can't keep up. So we have to come back and think about it, right? So that's kind of where I am right now with Black Fox, because I am leading at least two of the songs on this latest album that's released. And I had to think back, like, well, how did I come up with how to be able to sing this? Because they're not my words, and they're not necessarily even my melodies, right? So that was a bit of a, not really a challenge, because I'm also an opera singer, right? So a lot of people don't know that. So those are the things I have to come back and let people know when you're promoting your music, that these are my backgrounds. They want people ask questions like, well, what are your influences? Really, they're just wanting to know, well, yeah, they want to know your influences, but they also kind of want to know what's your process. So I kind of have to go back and think about that as a singer in that regard. All right, so I didn't want to make this too long. Of course, like I said, I got to go to work. I got to go check in on my brother this morning. I'm also mentoring a student teacher again this year. Last year was my first time doing it. This year, um, I'm finding some things to fine tune as a mentor, and I used to also give music lessons too, so, and mentor. So it's not like I'm not used to being a mentor, but in this kind of field in education now, being a mentor in the education field is interesting. I'll just say that. Okay. All right. Let me see what people are saying this morning. I'm well. I'm doing well. So yeah. So I don't want to be late for work. Let me finish doing my makeup here. I got to put on the eyeliners. It's Friday, and most kids during this time change are kind of cranky a little bit. Okay. And I got to keep on top of, you know, work and grades and stuff like that. And I'm in school too, as well. Alrighty, let's see, where are we with the time? All right, so yeah, the machine, when it comes to the media, and I have a slight background in media as well, so I kind of understand that you got to have it already. Can't be put on the spot when it comes to interviewers. A lot of them just ask, I hate to say this, a lot of the same basic questions that a lot of us creatives don't like. So I have to find new ways to say what I want to say. So I think I've put this out before, probably on Facebook when I was doing more work over there with Nerd Queen. But yeah, when you're faced with interviewers and things like that, you gotta spin your own narrative. Don't let them, you know, put you in a box, because they will. Not because they want, like, force it on you. No, they do force it on you. So if you know, they will find a way to force it on you. But you can make sure that you stand up for yourself as an artist, as a creative, and, you know, get your message out. You spin the narrative. It's you. Okay? All right. With that, I'm going to say see ya. All right. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.